The story opens up with Ellis Norn dispatching a bunch of completed walkers to go to different planes and ordering the death of Shieldred. The three planeswalkers from the end of All Be One, being Kaya, Kaito, and Tyvar, are all let go and return to Dominaria, where they tell everyone what happened. Sandra is like, fuck that shit, I'm going to New Phyrexia myself to Deus Ex Machina this bitch, and everyone calls her dumb except Ren, who decides to travel with her. We have a brief intermission on Kamigawa where Tamayo is there starting to complete stuff, and Kaido and Kaya also show up there to stop her. Tamayo's adopted son Nasi asks them to let her talk to her and that he'd be able to get through to her. They agree, but Nasi fails to get through to her, and the planeswalkers try their best to best her, but fail until the Wanderer shows up and defeats her. After she dies, he reappears as a spirit, Tamayo having put a memory into a scroll that would activate in the event of her death, and she and Nasi share a hug. Then we see a montage of various planes and defenders fending off Phyrexians, and things are completed that we recognize. Chandra, Ren, Koth, Melia, and the rest of the Mirran Resistance all start making their way to the tree. Chandra runs into Nissa, who is shocked at the sight of her completion, and Nissa tries to bring her into the Phyrexian fold, which Sandra obviously denies. We shift focus to Elspeth after vanishing into eternity in All Will Be One, where she looks through the planes that are close to her. An angel takes the form of her mother and tells her that she can only choose one plane to return to help them in the fight. It starts with New Capenna, and the angel tells her that Capenna once welcomed them with open arms and later welcomed Elspeth, but she denies returning there, saying they have their own defenders. It goes to Theros as the angel turns into Daxos. It shows Ajani completing people and how he's trying to convert the gods into Phyrexians. However, Elspeth denies coming back there as it settles on New Phyrexia in the losing battle. It also shows Urabrask was captured and killed there, and decides that's where she's needed the most after seeing Sandra and Ren. The angel reveals herself to be Serra as Elspeth ascends into an archangel. On New Phyrexia, Elspeth dismantles forces and injures Ellis Norn. All of the Mirran Resistance works to get Ren to the Runbreaker so the Druid can merge with it. Seven is gone and they have to carry it. They manage to do so and Ren merges with the Realmbreaker, becoming 8 after nurturing the soul inside of it. She reaches out to Zhalfir, which is phased out of the multiverse, and manages to pull it into New Phyrexia. There was a brief intermission on New Capenna during the aftermath of the side story where they drop a third of the city onto Atraxa and kill her, and the angels there all rush through the portals through all the planes. There was a brief moment showing Theros where Kea kills a completed Heliod. We see the angels assault through the eyes of Giada, who became an angel in New Capenna story as they arrive on New Phyrexia. Meanwhile, New Phyrexia and Zhalfir are being temporarily overlaid as the Zhalfirs all jump into the fray and start fighting back Phyrexians. Teferi manages to slow the Phyrexians with time magic, including Vorinclex, who manages to break through but is killed by a Zhalfir warrior. Jin-Gitaxias shows up and rebels against Ellis Norn, saying Phyrexia has outgrown her, and she declares he is Phyrexia. Ajani reappears from Theros to tell Jin-Gitaxias that Phyrexia is united at all or not at all, but is dispatched and captured by Zhalfir. Jin-Gitaxias has a vat of Phyrexian newts, but is broken when assaulted by another Zhalfir attacker, and the vat breaks as Jin-Gitaxias falls into it and the newts start to eat him. Ren had used all the life force to reach out to Zhalfir, and Teferi sees an echo near where her body is, and grabs it before heading towards the rift as it starts closing. New Phyrexia swapping places with Zhalfir, being put into the void, and in New Phyrexia's place, Zhalfir reappears in the multiverse. Khan reassembles and beats the ever-loving shit out of Ellis Norn, and kills her before leaving along with the other planeswalkers in the Zhalfir before the portal between the two worlds close. They also capture Nissa and bring her along with Ajani through the portal. New Phyrexia phases out into the void, and Sylvia has returned in its place. There is a brief aftermath montage which shows that the spirit Tamayo is returning home with her family, Tyvar boasting about killing a Phyrexian serpent, and the Phyrexians on Kaladas all starting off like the droids from Star Wars Episode 1. The Zhalfir welcome all the Mirran refugees as they celebrate their victory. The Teferi wanders off with the Acorn and plants Ren into the soil for her to return as a marketable toy. Teferi returns to the healing tent where Ajani and Nissa are blacked out, and the rest of the planeswalkers are trying to figure out what to do. Melia was severely injured in the war and is dying, and she offers a solution, using the last of her healing powers to cleanse their sparks, along with Ventz's spark inside Karn to heal them of all Phyrexian influence. Saheeli determined that the oil was basically shut off after New Phyrexia and Ellis Norn were gone, since Ellis Norn made the oil only obey her due to ego and to avoid any other one trying to take their place as leader. Koth walks outside and meets Elspeth while they have a talk, and Elspeth offers solace that Melia was dying on her own terms, telling Koth that he was willing to keep fighting New Phyrexia until his last breath, and this was no different, and Melia was willing to sacrifice herself to save others. Elspeth leaves and Koth returns as the ritual begins. Teferi slows down time around them as Karn extracts Ajani and Nissa sparks as Melia uses the last of her power to heal them as the Phyrexian influence on their bodies leave, though some of the metal can't be removed. Ajani awakens in a shocked state before passing out, and Nissa takes a moment to come back and shares a kiss with Chandra. Melia dies from this, and Karn loses his spark by using Ventzner's to cleanse Ajani and Nissa, and Teferi looks on, seeing that what they were fighting for is in front of him, a new future.